What is going on, everybody? It's a beautiful day today here at Transwest RV in Belton, Missouri. And today we found a 2022 Newmar Superstar. We're hanging out with Lance Ortega. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Hey guys, how you doing?
Nice. We've seen you showing a lot of the Newmar Class A's, but what's going on with this Newmar Superstar?
Well, guys, we just got super lucky because most of these Superstars are usually sold before I ever get one, but we actually have one here landed in stock. We got this beautiful custom 4061 Superstar. I'd like to come out there, maybe you guys tell you a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
While I do it, I want to show you something here, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
This cab that I'm sitting on is all air ride, and we'll kind of show you a little bit about that when we go outside, but you got an air cab, but you also have air seats. So down below here, you can see we've got heated functions. We've got a lot of nice lumbar different functions here, but don't want to just lower this thing. Just let the air out. Makes it a little easier for me to come out. I got a nice grab handle here, one there, and then you can see this grab handle right here. Very nice. We're getting in and out of the coach. One thing that you don't get in a Class A is a door.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just nice to be able to come in and out of the door. If we just stand back from this is a special paint color that we ordered with this. You can't order this out of the brochure. We actually customize this per Transwest specification. So if you guys go with something like this, you're going to have something really unique. Beautiful aerodynamic cap we got up here. You can see the way that we have that roof up there with those vanity rails. And then the other side, we have our beautiful integrated awning.
Love the white, black, and silver. I think those are the best colors for resale value. I've talked about that before. Yeah, I love that this has got the kind of semi-style front end. And one of the big advantages to the Super C is the accessibility to the engine for service and maintenance. What are some of the other advantages to a Super C?
So this particular Super C is built on the M2 106 chassis. Some of the entry-level Super Cs out there on the market are built on the S2 RV chassis. So that's more of the non-commercial side chassis, but when you go and you move up to the M2 106, this is more Freightliner's commercial side of the chassis, so just more robust. This is going to be something that you can put a lot of miles on and it's going to handle it no problem. You go from a 10,000 pound hitch to this coach, you got a 20,000 pound tow capacity, so lots of towing capacity in this coach. But look at that, just easy and accessible to your oil, your filters, and if you just need to get in there and get some work done, pretty easy to do.
When did Newmar come out with the Super C? Newmar's been building motorhomes for a long time.
Since 2020. Now the 2023s are going to be coming out soon, but 2020 was the first year that they came out.
Awesome. Well, you want to show us around?
We'll start here. We're just going to shut the hood here real quick. It's going to be a soft close.
Oh, cool.
I love this beautiful grille, right? You got a three-piece bumper. Now, this never happens. Nobody ever bumps into anything, but if you do, you don't have to replace the entire bumper. You can just replace just the sections. A lot of these Super Cs, you won't see this part of it, right? So this fender flare here, it actually blends quite nice, and they actually match the paint scheme onto the flares. We're going to take a little bit closer look here at this front cab. If you'll notice, this entire cab actually is separate from the house. You can see a gap here. That allows the cab to ride independent from the house. Because this is riding on air, where most Super Cs in the market have mechanical suspension, maybe air in the back. This is going to have an air cab with air suspension in the back. So this allows this cab to float freely. So you take the air seats along with the air cab, it just makes it a very pleasurable ride.
I know you're a big fan of all the Newmar product, but you also sell Renegade Super Cs here at Transwest?
We sure do, yeah. We sell the XLs, the Verona LEs, Verona, Valencia.
Do they have that same front air ride cabin like this Newmar does?
No, they don't.
Wow, that's very cool. You learn something new every day. And Lance has got a lot of great information he's going to share. This guy is loaded with information. Great man of integrity, so let's keep taking a look at this.
One thing I like about Newmar, whether it's their entry-level gas coach all the way up to their $1.6 million King Air, they stay consistent in the way they build their coaches. 16-inch on center. They build their slide walls so that they recess inside the wall, so you got a nice flush wall here. It's going to help cut down on wind noise. And when they build it 16-inch on center, then it cuts down on the cabinet rattle. You don't get the stove top shaking. Just an ultra quiet ride on the inside. One of the other features that I actually like about this is you got the power mirrors here. But I actually like this little mirror because a lot of times you can't see what's going on. I mean, this thing sits up so darn high, you can't see like if there's somebody standing here. So, standing here, you can still see what's going on here with that mirror. But also, because it sits so high, with this front engine, it's going to give you a lot of safety, right? God forbid anything happen, but at least you got that big old engine out there in front of you to protect you.
Yes, sir. Does this coach have the 360 camera system, or what kind of camera system does it have?
Yeah, this is going to have the 360, so it's going to have 7 cameras total. You got the left, right, and then the backup, and then you're going to have 1 on each side, and then 2, 1 on the front, 1 on the rear, to give you a nice bird's eye 360 degree view. All right, guys, so as we are coming here, I just want to point out too, I like the badging that Newmar has done here. Just a really sharp look. Now, you might be wondering what this is.
Yeah.
You've seen this in one of Andrew's previous
does this
videos.
have the hammock option?
This has the hammock option.
I think every RV should have the hammock option, and you demonstrated that in a mountain air video we did.
Very comfortable. It's got a wood bracket that goes across the hammock, so it doesn't just close up on you when you lay in it. It stays spread open. Just a very nice feature. Well, let's check out some of these bays. So we got,
and I'll leave a link to that video in the description below, where Lance demonstrates how we use the hammock on that mountain air. But what's all going on in these bays?
This is our first storage bay. We do have a 50-foot air hose. Now, this is going to have a dedicated compressor. So when you turn off the key, there's going to be 2 pistons that come up and level this out. If you do want to air up your tires, this does have the capability. If you have some low air pressure, you can air up your tires. And then they also supplied a hot water line here.
Okay, so yeah, you could just hook a garden hose to that spigot there. And
garden hose, pressure sprayer, and you can clean out the bugs, right?
Yes, sir.
Next bay over, right? Very clean, carpet lined, chrome handles, which this was an add-on. And one of the things that I really like, so these guys, Newmar didn't start at entry level. They didn't even start at mid-level. These guys started right out the gate, high-end coach. You can see right here, this right here, this privacy panel is something that you would only see on something like my King Air, my Essex, or London Air, right? $1 million coaches. But they incorporated it here into the Super C. So when you open the door, you're gonna have that hydraulic triple step system. So when I open this door, I'm gonna stand in front of the steps. It does have a sensor in the front of the step and a sensor underneath. So if you have a small pet, a grandchild, or you just have a curb here, it'll stop, but you'll notice how the steps are evenly spaced. So then that way it's still easy for you to get up into the coach. Once you move the pet, or you're out of the way of the curb, it does a really great job of coming down 3 steps and gets you nice and low to the ground.
Yeah.
So you're up and in the coach nice and easy. We got our keyless entry here, very nice. And then just above you got our first of the cameras there for the 360 degree view. So then we've got our 3rd storage bay here. Next bay over, we have our entertainment bay. Got to keep yourself entertained while you're out there on the road. Got
Yes,
your
sir.
Samsung TV with the Bose Solo soundbar. And I like this little feature here that Newmar has done. You don't have any software to push, right? All you have to do, if you're listening to the tunes that on your dash, all you got to do is switch this from TV, switch it over to dash, and it takes your music and makes it run through the speaker here on your soundbar.
Nice.
Then you also got your 110 outlet with a couple USB ports.
And I want to point out just how that's finished out. It would have been easy to put just a regular outlet, but it's got that chrome casing around the edges there, really pro.
So very sleek. You got a couple security lights up there. As we come down, you're going to see that now this is going to be something that you don't see in a Super C, because typically you got those big rails going down, and so you just get those little tiny storage compartments, which we had there up in the front. But man, Newmar, they're genius. They actually put a slide tray. I've never seen a slide tray in a Super C ever.
And there's that awning, or I'm sorry, that hammock. And what does that take? Maybe 5-10 minutes to set up?
I think when we did it, it was about 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
If they wanted to pinch pennies, they didn't have to add this receiver, right? You got your 2 5/16 receiver on one side, 2-inch on the other, and then you got a reducer here, right? If you need to, because that hitch in the back is going to have a really big casing. So if you need to reduce it down to the 2-inch, they already supplied the parts for you.
Nice.
One less trip to the hardware store.
Yes, sir.
Central vac, a power outlet right there to the right. So next bay over, we have another pass-through storage. You got some fishing poles or whatever, but it just gets better, guys, because when I pull this lever,
Oh, wow.
look at that. You never
Never seen anything like this. Completely different design and style. So
great place to store tools. But if you look down here, look how deep that runs. If you want to throw fishing poles, if you have a ladder, maybe you got a picnic table. I mean, just weird bulky items that you just like, where do I put it?
yeah, great utilization of that space. Yes, sir.
So if you're out here working at night, they got a light here. But then down here, look at that hitch. Just absolutely monstrous. That thing is just you got a 20,000 pound tow capacity.
Yeah, so 20,000 pound towing capacity. Now, we did see a Supreme Air running around here somewhere. What's the towing capacity on the Supreme Air?
So that's gonna have 30,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and you're going with, you're gonna have a DDR13. That's gonna be a Detroit motor. Just a whole different animal there. You got air ride all the way around, just like you would have in a bus.
What's the MSRP on this Superstar we're looking at right now?
That one's already sold. We do have a Supreme Air coming in here, should arrive any day. We don't have the MSRP, we're waiting for Newmar to get it to us. Now that I've closed this, you can see that I like these little attention to details that they put here in the rear cap. You got your second camera there for the OmniView 360-degree system. I like that air spoiler up there. You got your other backup camera. So you're not hurting for information. I mean, these cameras are just they're lifesavers. And as you can notice, let me just point out too just how high these taillights are, right? I mean, I'm 6 foot and your first brake like 6 foot up. So if you're towing a car behind it and your lights go out on your car, they can still see what's going on here. The other side of that access panel, and that bar right there, is going to be to your hammock. Okay, so as you can see, the slide tray stops, but you can get some taller items in there, right? So if you want to get a great big tall ice chest, you've got room for it. Maybe you want to carry a portable barbecuer, you can get it in there. Nice little area here for maybe like a stinky slinky. And I just love that wet bait. There's just so much going on there. So this is going to have an electronic black tank and gray tank valves. So you don't have to pull any handles, you just push of a button. And I like how the knockout here is, I don't have to run my sewer hose up into this, right? So all this area stays really clean.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. I like that. So basically your black and gray dump comes in a little separate compartment. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that. I think we'll probably start seeing that in more motorhomes because it just makes sense.
It does. I mean, you keep your yuck outside. So this,
yes, sir.
This stays nice and clean. And I think why that's important is because your freshwater hose is inside here, right? So you don't want none of this mixing with this.
Absolutely.
This you just pull out. This is going to be on a power reel, so you just push a button and it winds in. So next bay over, guys, we have the hydraulic system. So that's going to run your hydraulic steps for the door. It's also going to take care of your auto leveling.
Okay, are the slide rooms hydraulic as well?
No, they're going to be electric.
Okay.
They're on a rack and pinion system. But once we get the slides out, we're going to show you the wheel cogs on that. They're the most robust system out there for a slide mechanism. What I like about Newmar overall, they're customer friendly and they're tech friendly. So if you ever need to get any kind of work done, you're going to notice this slide tray here, it rolls out. Right? So this is on a slide tray. It's not mounted up against the frame where somebody has to crawl underneath the coach and get to it. So if you ever do need to get some work done on it, it's really easy.
Yeah, Newmar's been in business for coming up on 55 years, so they've had a lot of time to learn a lot and improve.
All right, guys, so here we got our battery bay. We got 8 6-volt batteries. I just want to show you real quick just how easy this is to pull out. I mean, it's just absolutely effortless. So if you're handy and you want to change them out yourself, really easy to get to, right? The whole point is you want to get in and out and back on the road as quick as you can. Next bay we have our Oasis system. This is going to be our hydronic heating. So what's nice about this is going to give you endless hot water, and it's also going to be responsible for heating the environment, and it'll run on diesel or electric. So if you go to a place where, let's say, your power is included with your space at the RV park, then you can just turn that electric on and it's still heating your environment, heating your water. And if you have a lot of company and you're running out of hot water, you can run both the diesel and the electric, so it can recover a lot quicker.
Nice.
Next bay over here we have our 8,000 Onan diesel generator. We've got 5 hours on that thing, so
yeah.
She's been worn out. So, but no, this thing can power a small village. I mean, you can run everything in this coach, no problem. We've got our 50-foot, 50 amp service. We've got the surge protection already built in there. One of the things I want to point out, you'll notice all this storage that we had on the other side of the coach. So previous Superstar models, you had your hydraulics, you had these big bank of batteries all on the patio side, and you didn't have nothing for storage on that side. So engineers, they got together, scratched their heads, and they actually came up to the point where you've got all that wonderful storage now on patio side, and somehow they managed to get this and still have some storage back there, pasture storage. Really nice.
Yeah, great utilization of space, especially with the back of this coach. But I want to see the interior on this Newmar. You want to show us what's going on inside?
Yeah, let's go do it. All right, guys, well, let me go in here, but before you come in, Andrew, let me just show you something really special here that they got going on with the Superstar. So something that I've never seen in a Super C is an actual step cover. We're going to close this step cover, but you're going to see that as it comes out, it'll actually raise up and then come flush to the floor. So very nice. Yeah,
beautiful flooring as well. And this is something I've never seen. We have the slide rooms in right now, but I like this kind of clear piece with this handle here.
One of the things that I want to point out too, like their heating system, typically you'll have big rectangular registers, metal registers, or round plastic pucks. Now with Newmar, everything has a finish to it. So this would be one of the heat registers for the hydronic system, but just beautifully finished.
We're gonna put the slide rooms out right now, but watch the video till the end and we're gonna show you what this coach looks like with the slide rooms in. This is absolutely stunning. I can't believe how much floor space is in this coach. It's gotta be one of the best floor plans I've seen in a Super C. What is going on here, sir?
So 4061 model. What I love about the 4061, now this is not going to have the bath and a half, but what you get is you're going to have more living space, right? Because you're giving up that half bathroom to gain this. So you got beautiful opposing slides. I love these nice recliners here. You got a stationary solid little cabinet here with some drawers, cup holders, and a nice little storage area down below. Just an absolutely gorgeous coach. Now, I think before we get to here, I want to just kind of point out just a little bit here. We'll touch base just a tiny bit here on the cab. So as you can see, this right here, this is part of that floating cab system. Again, this is completely separate from the house. So as you're driving and you're hitting bumps, you've got the air cab, and then you also have the air seats. So if you look down here, you can see both the passenger and the driver have these air seat controls. So just a really nice function. You want the passenger just as comfortable as the driver. So up here we're gonna have a skylight. I'm gonna go ahead and open that up for you just so you can see what that looks like. Some people just like a lot of natural light inside their coach, so this is gonna allow just a ton of natural light to come through the coach. If you're sitting here, you're watching a movie, but you want to see the stars at the same time, it allows you to do that. Now if it gets a little too hot, just close the shade and
wow, that is really cool. I'm noticing a lot of cabinet space up here. Do we have storage going on up front, or what's
lots
all?
Of storage. So just like when you got in here earlier, you can see I'm actually sitting in this chair, not up against it, and my head is still not hitting anything. Now, you are sacrificing the bed, but as you can see, I'm standing on flush floor right here, and I'm right up here in the front of the cab.
I think this is the smoothest transition I've ever seen in a Super C from the coach to the cab.
Yeah. So just like what we've seen earlier in some of those models that we've seen, you got that beautiful hardware.
Yeah, almost like a carbon fiber kind of a look.
Mm-hmm. Really nice. You know, you don't have to sit there and hold the doors open. It's just nice that they've got those little gas struts on there. So as we open this up,
yeah, it looks like a JBL premium audio, and then there's always a phone number for the specialist for the Superstar or for each model. Exactly. What is that? We were in a King Air yesterday, we saw that. What is that sticker that we just saw?
So with every line, with every product line like King Air, Essex, Dutch Star, there's going to be a brand specialist that is dedicated to that line. So let's just say like our King Air customers, for instance, if there was ever an issue, we would ask that you would call the dealership first, call me, your salesman. I'm going to try and help you out the best I can. But if you're not getting any traction and it's like an absolute emergency, those King Air reps, they take their phone with them. So, I mean, if you need to make that call at 2 a.m., now we would prefer you call in the next day, but if it's an emergency, it is available. We're here for you.
A lot of value in that.
There is, and you know what? At the end of the day, we just want to take care of you. That's why we're able to put food on our table, and we really appreciate it. So
Yeah, absolutely. And as we're talking here, I've got to point out, we've got that 8,000 Onan generator running, air conditioners running, still very quiet in here, but there was something that was really catching my eye as we were talking. This pattern on the woodwork here with the mirrored backing, just a beautiful finish. All the little subtle details that Newmar does.
A lot of customers out there might be going, I don't want to have to clean in between all this zigzag. What's really nice is this is actually just magnetic.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's just going to be an easy cleanup.
Wow, I would have never guessed that, but there's just so many little things that Newmar does over 50 years in business. They've thought of a lot of stuff. They make life easier for the end user.
They do. So, you know, you were mentioning earlier the Whisper Quiet AC. So one of the things that you won't see, like you would see typically in any other motorhome, is these big round pucks or these big rectangular registers, which are usually located on the outer edges on both sides of the motorhome. Well, Newmar decided to run all their ducting right down the center, right? And why that's important is when your slides are in, you're just not cooling off the top of your slides, you're actually allowing airflow to flow while the slides are closed. And so it's keeping your occupants, whoever's traveling with you, it's just going to keep the air moving right here throughout the coach. Short coach, it's not the 45 footer, but you know, being such a short coach, storage is a premium. So you're going to see in this living space, they got cabinets everywhere. You got these upper cabinets. Now you're going to see this little bulkhead right here. Now Newmar could have opted to not have that, but if anybody's ever owned a motorhome, slides typically are not insulated the same way they are on the RV coach. So what happens is you get a lot of humidity in there. So this right here, this is insulated just like the ceiling up above. So you're not going to have any of those humidity issues in there. So that was a sacrifice they're willing to make sure this stays looking like this 5-10 years down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. And all super clean. You've got outlets back there.
And they even padded this ceiling inside the cabinet to match the ceiling
up
in here.
I didn't even notice that, but wow, just all those little subtle details. And what's the overall length? I don't know if we hit on the overall length of this coach from stem to stern. You're
gonna be 40 foot 11 inches.
Okay, 41, just under 41 feet. And I'm really liking this. I gotta try out this. Is it okay if I try this recliner out? You know,
Sukasa.
Well, out of respect for the new owner, I want to touch as little stuff as possible in this coach, but I just wanted to kind of get a feel for this area. With that TV location, it's just a great layout. You've got your booth over here. Now, MCD shades, we could open that window, get a view of our patio side. It's a nice floor plan, Lance.
And while you're talking about that, if you have guests, let's just say you have some grandkids that come along, they're sitting here and they're able to enjoy the movie just as much as you are. So actually a very nice feature.
Now, will the captain's chairs turn around?
They sure will. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, you gotta show me this, because I've seen it in the Class A's, but I've never seen a Super C that had the chairs turn around, and maybe I just haven't been in enough Super C's.
So before I turn it around, I just want to show you, these are air seats. Because you've got a higher deck here, you can actually incorporate the air to raise your seat, and it just gives you a much more comfortable.
Very cool.
Now I've got the engine turned off. We got to have the engine running in order
to get the air pressure.
Get the air, but then you can raise this up and make it a little bit more comfortable. But both seats turn around.
Now, normally when you're in a campground, the engine is not running. How are these seats going to stay aired up once you spin them around if you don't have the engine running?
So there is an auxiliary compressor where you can supply air to the cab. It's just outside in that front door.
Okay, and how do you can run that off of just power? Or?
Yep, you can just run it off just on power.
But we don't have that turned on right now.
We don't.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I got to ask the hard questions.
No, absolutely.
Wow.
All right, there you go, guys.
Family-friendly unit, and that slide cover's down right now, just giving you more floor space. But you've got comfortable seating for 2, 4, possibly 8 people in this coach.
Yeah. Absolutely, very, very nice.
Now, what about sleeping in this coach?
So your dinette will make down into a bed, but because you don't have a couch coming out, like typically you'd have a couch and it folds out, it's usually an air bed, you're gonna have your recliner chair. So you're not sacrificing the people who are paying the bill. They still get their comfort, but you know what? Look at all this space you got for an air bed. You got a football field here, you can put a couple of air beds. So
absolutely,
you got plenty of room for everybody to sit, and at the end of the night, plenty of room for everybody to sleep.
And that's where the non-paying customers are, like our buddy Matt says. So.
That's right. So just across from here, right, we just got done looking at this. But we didn't talk about the extra storage over here over the recliner. So again, just that added more storage. I mean, I don't think you're gonna be hurting for storage. It's just loaded with storage. And probably one of the biggest kitchens I've ever seen in a Super C. If you look at the length of this countertop, I mean, I'm 6 foot. So that right there is about a 6 foot span. You're probably looking at about almost 7.5 feet.
Yeah, what's the surface on this countertop? Beautiful.
So this is gonna be like an LG product or a Corian. A lot of you folks are probably familiar with Corian, but it's gonna be very similar to that same material. I mean, it's exactly the same thing, but just different brand. Some of the features that we got up here, I love this faucet, right? I love how that's flexible, and it's more residential style. You've got beautiful covers here, and I just love the stainless steel sinks. You got double stainless steel sinks. Some people prefer the double, some people prefer the farm. It's kind of hard to make everybody happy, but I think this is still a beautiful setup. Now, I also love the depth of this countertop. So non-essentials like your toaster, your coffee pot, your blender, you got room for it all, and you still got room to prep.
Cool little thing I'm seeing here below that little outlet there, utilizing every little space. Now, can you still access that outlet if that goes down there? So
if I bring this down, you're still gonna have access to the outlet, but there's gonna be probably about this much gap. So what you want is to get a flat plug that you would normally get, and then have the wire run down and then to whatever appliance you want to get to.
Okay.
Now just below, you do have a garbage can. It's like nobody ever like puts a dedicated space for a garbage can, but I mean, I'm just glad that they did it. It's just, they really try to hit all the different important items. Of course, your little sponge holder, nice little storage there.
And you can access that garbage can from this door as well.
Absolutely. This is going to be a full all-electric coach, so that means no propane. You're going to have just a massive amount of drawers. It is just loaded.
I like that the silverware dividers are already in there, and a lot of remotes in this coach here.
Remote control for your outside Girard Nova awnings. You also have the remote for your sleep number bed. So this is going to have a sleep number. We'll take a look at that here in just a second.
Are these keyless entry for your cargo doors and for your coach?
Yeah, so this is going to be keyless entry for your cargo and for your coach.
Nice.
Yeah. So soft closing drawers. Something that you would expect, you know, when you're getting into a high line like this. You've got beautiful cutting boards. They actually put cutting boards on the other side of these toppers. And then if you're not familiar with Newmar, one of the things that I love is they have a removable cooktop. So if you want to go, if you're cooking fish, you want to keep the smell outside, you can go put that on your picnic table. You can still hang out with your family and your friends, and when you're all done, come back here, pop it back in, and you're off and running.
But I'm also noticing windows here in your galley, and these will, when we turn these will kind of vent out, so if you want to get a little cross breeze on a rainy day, the rain won't come in there.
Yeah, and that's something that doesn't come standard in this Superstar, but we opted to have it because you know, folks just love to be able to have a view while they're doing dishes or they're cooking food. So
yes, sir.
So you got your convection microwave oven, because this is all electric, but you can still bake your cookies. Don't worry, you can still bake your pizza, no problem. And then we've got a really nice Fisher Paykel dishwasher down below, so nothing but the best.
Now I'm really curious, just because you showed me in the front of the coach, does this come off to clean those mirrors back there as well?
No.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I've never tried that one. They don't.
Okay.
Because I see a solid connection here, but
I gotta ask. Now
yeah.
We were blazing through the galley there, but I don't think we hit on the storage below the TV here. What's going on here?
This coach, really, they have just done, look how far that comes out.
That's a lot of space.
That is incredible.
If you have guests out here that need storage, there's a lot of storage in this living area, more so than a lot of the Class A's.
Yeah, just loaded with storage. Now, one of the things that I actually love is this decor. This is going to be the Belmont decor, and if you just look at the pattern here on the walls, and just some of the nicer features like this clock here with the leather band around the face, just some really nice features. The cabinets themselves are a Newport glaze maple cabinet, and you're going to notice it's a matte finish. So if you got your thumb on there, you're not going to have a smudge or a fingerprint show up. Now, coming down the hallway, you're going to see down here we have our central vac. So throw away the dustpan, right? You just sweep that into the hole there, sucks it right up. Now, just above us, we have our fantastic fan. But what I like about what Newmar does, everything has a trim level. I mean, they could have just had a hole there with the plastic like what you would typically see in an RV, but they trimmed this out quite nicely, so it's just not an eyesore. Even their wainscoting with this chair rail here, just some really nice finishing touches. And then this is going to be that door that hinges from the middle.
Yeah, and with the slide rooms open here, we're going to show everyone what this coach looks like with the slide rooms in here in just a moment, but you've got a lot of space that flows as we go into the rear of the coach here. It's very open. It is very open. You can actually get two people walking side by side. Typically, when you're walking into a bedroom, you have about a 2-foot 6-inch door, right? But this is, you're talking almost like 3 feet, a little over 3 feet. So just a lot of space. If you're here getting items out of your beautiful Whirlpool refrigerator, it's just nice to be able to sit here and access your items and not having to bump into anything. Yeah, really nice flow of this coach. So I really like these pantries. These are all adjustable. Now, if you listen to this, right, just listen to this click. That allows you to lock your pantry. So pantry's still usable if you're going down the road. You just got to push on it to unlock it. But just a nice little system, so you're not having stuff fly out. Just don't forget to latch it before you leave. Yes, sir. This is going to be a 1-bathroom coach. So I'm going to go ahead and, as usual, let's demonstrate the shower. Yes, sir. All right. So as I step in here, you can see I've got all the arm room, plenty of head space. The shower head actually sits up quite high, so for all you taller folks out there, you're probably going to really appreciate that. It does have the AquaView system here, so you can preheat your water before it comes out of the shower head, just to kind of save on water. And then you've also got this nice teak seat here, so if you just want to kind of sit and soak, yeah, you can do it. I love the finishes here on all the sidewalls, just really nice touch. It's stunning design. Now, looking at the toilet, you can see you've got plenty of room. If you got really long legs, you got all the room in the world. Yeah, and those same beautiful floors continue into the bathroom here, and those same beautiful countertops we saw. And so we were actually just in a coach just recently, Andrew and I, and we were just noticing this is like a semi-matte, semi-gloss finish on these floors. So really unique tile. I like it though. It's really, I mean, that was one of the first thing I noticed in that Ventana as well. Just stunning coach. Let me just take a look here too. What about storage in here? I really like the subway tile backsplash there. But what else is going on in this bathroom? Yeah, so just above the toilet here, great place for some toiletries. But what I also like, I mean, you know, previous coaches and a lot of other RVs will have exposed wiring, but I love how they build these breaker panels inside of a cabinet, so it has a really nice finish to it. Everything is clearly labeled for all your fuses. And then you've got your breakers over here, which are very clearly labeled. Just nice, easy access to it. Just across right here next to the commode, you got some really nice drawers. Really nice deep space in there. Some nice upper cabinets. And you also have really nice, beautiful medicine cabinet. I love that hardware, just really nice. And some great cabinet space down there below. A little spot for your TP holder there inside the door. I like that. It's like, hey, where do you put your TP, right? You got a spot. Yes, sir. And I've got to get everybody a close-up on the design of this light, just all those little subtle touches that Newmar does. Now, I will say there's a vent with a fan here, but it's not quite as finished out as this, you know, vent in the kitchen. That's here. Right. Because when you're sucking steam up through there while you're taking your shower, they're probably thinking maybe with all that steam running there and a lot of warm steam, may not be a good mixture. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, sir. So before I let you into the room, we're just going to show you this nice pocket door. So if you want a little bit of privacy, you can just shut the door. Very seamless, and then it just locks right into place automatically. Yeah. And you can just hear the quality when that locks into place. You know, it's very solid, sturdy build. You can tell everything is smooth. All right, so coming in here, you're going to see that our ceiling treatments are the same as what we just seen earlier in the living room. We got the AC running right now. It's whisper quiet, and I tell you what, it feels really nice. Super hot day today. But you got a really big Sleep Number king bed with some really nice overhead storage. Now, what I like, what Newmar's been doing now is you see that there's going to be an outlet there, and there's going to be a hole right back here.
So if anybody's got a CPAP, this thing's already set up, so you can easily put a CPAP up there, drop your hose down, and it just makes it convenient.
Yeah, a lot of benefits to using a CPAP machine. I know more and more people using those.
So at the foot of the bed here, we got some nice overhead cabinetry. And we got our entertainment cabinet over here. So like your receiver, maybe a DVD player, you can put all that in there. Got some nice, boy, those are nice deep drawers all the way across.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, the bottom ones are functional as well.
Yeah, that same hardware too. I really like that style. And then even, you know, like the wall finishes here and the lights, just all those little subtle touches.
All right, let's see if we got something here under the bed. So got a little bit of storage, and as you can see, it's all felt lined. It just tries to protect you. You know, if you got something down there and you don't want to get a snag on a piece of plywood, it just protects your contents.
It's sort of, I've got to compliment the bedding in this coach. Almost reminds me of like a Ralph Lauren design. Just a very, sometimes I'm not a fan of the RV bedding, but I really like the bedding. Now this bedding comes with this coach, right?
Absolutely. Yep, it sure does. All right, so you're gonna have power on both sides of the bed, 110 power, but you're also gonna have some USB ports. So you've got your AC current and your DC current available at all times. So you've always got power regardless, whether you're dry camping or plugged into shore power. This is what's gonna be nice, right? You don't have to run to the laundromat. We got a nice little washer dryer, Splendid here tucked away in the corner. Now what I like about this is the location. When you're doing your laundry, out of the dryer, onto the bed, right? Well, onto the bed, into the closet. So just a nice placement there. This lights up quite nice. So this is going to be the cushion. Like if you break your dinette down into a bed, this is just going to fit in between when you drop that table. Yeah, but boy, look at the thickness on that pad too.
Oh yeah, yes sir.
But really big closet. You got your safe back there.
Yeah, all very well lit back here, and I like that they're not skimping on the finishes, even in the closet back here. Everything is finished out.
So down below, you're going to see we have storage. So you know, like your dryer sheets, and I mean, you're just going to have. Now this is probably going to be the hubby's area.
A little bit harder to get to,
yeah.
But
I know if it was me, wifey's over there, I get these ones over here. But yeah, plenty of storage, and you got some nice overhead storage as well.
Hey, and I gotta give you a big congratulations. Lance got married earlier this month. Big congratulations to you, buddy.
I'm a blessed man.
We're gonna show you what this coach looks like with the slide rooms in. So you can see you've got plenty of room to get from your living area to the cab up front, very open. And one thing I want to point out on this coach is the headroom here. As I walk into the, you know, the driver's seat, I can sit right down without having to duck down. Sometimes the Super C's, you got to kind of duck in here. And Lance, I think you said yesterday you were 260, so yeah. getting down the middle of the coach, no problem.
Look, I am having no problem getting through this coach, but I appreciate that they give enough room for guys like me to be able to get through this. You know, if you're a bigger person, you want to get up and make yourself a sandwich, I mean, you've got plenty of room back here. Now it gets a little tighter here, so I got to do the sideways walk, but the door has a center hinge, so the door will suck in, and it will still allow me to get in there quite easily.
Okay. Now, can you still access your refrigerator with the slide room in?
Yeah, so everything. So you got a slide lock here. We got to make sure we unlock that first.
Yep.
But yep, the door will actually open all the way up and not hit.
Oh yeah, look at that. And both doors?
Oh, I'm sorry.
And both doors, so you would, and it actually swings out a little bit, so you might want to stand in the bathroom there, but you definitely can get to, I mean, definitely a little bit of an inconvenience there compared to some of the Class A's, but yeah, we're being transparent.
That's right. You know, it is a little bit harder. Some of these Class A's have a little bit wider hallways, but we got to remember, we're chopping off 5 feet of length, and we've got that big old motor out front, but yeah, we still allow you to get in there and be able to get access to it.
And so you could easily still get to your bedroom and utilize that king size bed with the slide rooms in. So this coach is available right now, but I know the Superstars do not last in inventory long. Now, what's the price of this coach, and who should they call if they want to buy it?
So right now we're asking $504,615 for it.
Now, if somebody is a serious buyer and they want to step up and become the next owner of this Newmar or some of the other coaches you have here at Transwest, who should they get a hold of?
Guys, I would be honored to help you and assist you in any way that I can. Just feel free to reach me out at my personal cell phone number. It's going to be 208-290-5750. or you can look at our inventory, which is transwestrv.com. We're located here in Belton, Missouri, but make sure when you're typing in that domain name, transwestrv.com.
Awesome, Lance. I appreciate you and the team here at Transwest, and you've been sharing a lot of information in these videos, so we're gonna have a bunch of Newmar videos where Lance shares a lot of information, so definitely worth checking out. And I appreciate all of you that are subscribing to the channel and liking these videos. I hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.
Well, Andrew, I just want to thank you so much for stopping by, spending some time with us, and all you guys out there in YouTube land, I wish you all the best, and I look forward to hearing from you.